man. Again? What were you doing there? Well, some friends came by. We had a few drinks, played some games. You know how it is. Got a bit out of control. A bit? Look at the room. Well, you know how it is. What can I say? Sorry, I guess. I don't know. Besides, you can do the thing. You know what I'm saying? I saw you already a few times doing it, so... We ran out of beers. Welcome to the Power of Creation. My name is Sebastian, and in the last video we talked about the duration of videos in Premiere Pro. Now in this one we'll talk about everything that's speed related. You know, speed, a scalar quantity, the magnitude of the change of certain object's position. We'll talk about how to make your videos faster, how to slow them down, what tools to use. We'll mention a thing or two about how the video speed works, by explaining to you the frame rates, and in the end we'll talk about the Premiere Pro's time remapping option. Now, if you think about it, you can really do 4 things that are speed related with your videos. You can
speed them up,
slow them down,
you can freeze them in one spot, or you can reverse them. Let's roll. To manipulate the speed of your clip, you need to right click it and open the speed and duration dialog. You can open this dialog like that, or easier way, just press Ctrl or Command for Mac users plus R while having the clip selected. Now in this dialog we won't talk about this duration option, because we covered it in previous video already. Check it out, link is in the description. Here is the footage of me cleaning the room. Okay, let's make the clip faster first. We do this by changing this percentage value over here. Well, you guessed it. In order to make it faster, we just crank this value up above the normal 100% speed. Hit OK and here you go. Fast as flash.
Now run.
On the other hand, if we want to slow the clip down, we just change the percentage to the lower value. But here is the few things you need to know before you do that. In order to understand what I'm going to explain next, you first need to know what video frame rate in videography is. Each video is generated by displaying a lot of still images in high speed. Now the video frame rate describes how many images will this video have per 1 second. Some experts say that the human eye can't process more than 60 images per second. On the other hand, some of them say that you can process more than 1000 of them, and so on. Anyway, it became kind of a standard. In order for the footage to look most cinematic for the viewer, the usual videos have 24 frames per second. When it's less, the footage becomes choppy and you can notice it. When it's more, on the other hand, the footage becomes, let's call it slimy or liquid. Which is why you'd usually stick to 24 to 30 frames per second. Now, you may ask, what does this have to do with the speed of the clips in Premiere Pro? Well, you need to understand that if you slow down your footage, those frames will be spread out further, which will result into lesser frame rate, meaning less frames per second. And if you don't have enough frames in your footage, the footage will become choppy and unwatchable. This is why shooting videos in high frame rates is called slow motion or slow-mo, since when recording in higher frame rate, you'll be able to use that footage and slow it really down. Most of the cameras today, which you're probably using for everyday capturing, have already quite a big frame rates, even up to 240. And you can set this option somewhere in the options of your camera, of course, based on the camera you're using. Even some of the smartphones have at least 60 frames per second. Okay, back to Premiere. Here I have footage that has 60 frames per second. This means I can slow it down to minimum of 40%, so it doesn't lose that flow. If I overdo it, it again becomes choppy. But what to do if you don't have the footage with high enough frame rate? I don't know, maybe someone else was shooting or you weren't careful enough. Well, Premiere Pro has this option called time interpolation, which you can find in this same dialog, and you have these three options. Now this option will tell Premiere Pro what should he do at the spots where the frames are missing when it renders the video. The default over here is frame sampling, which won't do really much. This option just tells the Premiere to just duplicate previous or next frame on this spot, whichever is nearer. And with this you just come up with this choppy footage. This next option is better, since it blends the previous and next frame into a new frame. So basically puts both images on top of each other with 50% transparency or opacity. Let's see. Oh, by the way, each time you want to see the result, you actually need to render the footage. Mark the in and out, go to footage and select render in to out. Okay, let's check it out now. As you can see, you get quite strange result, but it might work in some occasions. And the third option is in most cases also the best one, optical flow. With this option, Premiere will try and calculate those missing frames based off previous and next frame. Shorter, it creates new frames. Let's take a look. Okay, let's render it. Nice, as you can see, did quite good job, although there are some minor mistakes every now and then. And that's why the best option is always to shoot in higher frame rate. Is he watching me? Alright, here's a quick tip on another way how to change the speed of the clip, slowing it down or speeding it up. If you hold this button down for a bit, it will give you the possibility to grab this rate stretch tool. You can select it also using R key on your keyboard. You can use it and just drag the clip at the beginning or the end, and this changes the speed of the clip as well. The speed is displayed over here besides the name. Alright, let's move on. To reverse the clip or make it go backwards, you go to the same dialog and mark this checkbox, reverse speed. Now for this, all the speed principles we talked about earlier apply as well. Let's see it. Nice, it works. It's as easy as that. Moving on to freezing the footage. And you can do this in two ways, and it's really easy. Alright, there's also a third option, but give me a second to explain and come to it. For the first two ways to work, you need to move this playhead to the exact place where you want to freeze your footage. Let's say over here. Now you right click and you can find these two options here. Add frame hold and insert frame hold segment. So what's the difference? The difference is that the first option will cut your footage at the playhead and create a frame hold segment all until the end of your clip. So you'll lose the rest of the clip, but you'll get a big frame segment. The other option will cut the clip as well, but it will cut it in half and preserve both pieces, while inserting the frame hold in between. What is he doing? Whatever. Which to use depends totally of the situation and what you want to do with it. Now, I also mentioned there is a third way, but I don't use that way that often. There's this frame hold option, and it opens a dialog. The thing is, this will convert your whole clip to a frame hold, and it will take the frame depending of your setting here. To be honest, when I use this, I only use the last three options, since I don't really understand the first two. Made some research on it, but I'm still in the blank. Comment down below if you know what these options do. Also, while you're at it, comment down below if you know what this hold filters option does as well. Okay, the last three options are to take the frame at the beginning of the clip, at the end of the clip, or at the place where the playhead is at. Now, as you can see, the whole clip is having one single frame. Alright, so what to use and when? I'd say you can just use one of them and get the same results. Just use what's easiest to you and the most comfortable. And now, in the end, let's talk about one more thing, and that is time remapping. Let's say you have a clip like this and want to have dynamic speed changes in it. Maybe first half should be slow and then it should speed up. How can you do it? Well, one option is to cut it in half and set different speeds for each half. Although it's a bad choice, since you'll end up with this drastic change in speed and you'll have two clips from now on. You don't want that. What you can use is time remapping. And you do this by right-clicking on this little FX icon here, choosing time remapping and then speed. Let's change the height of this track by scrolling while holding Alt key. Alright, you see, there's this line on the clip now. Let's drag it up or down. This changes the speed of the clip, the same as we were using the speed dialog. Now, what's interesting over here is that you can add keyframes and animate this speed. Change it in time. You add a keyframe by clicking on the line while holding Ctrl key or Command for Mac users. If I drag one side of the line, you can see it only affects the speed of that part. Next thing you can do is drag this thing to create this ramp. This way the speed will increase over time and it won't just jump straight to the next value. You can also make this curve a bit more smooth by dragging around these beziers, as they are called, and create this easy in and easy out effect. Oh, by the way, you can also move this thing around if it's not at the right spot, and all of this gives you extra creative freedom. Nice, right? So when we are doing this, we're basically making a speed effect animation. We'll talk about animations and keyframes into more details in another video. For now, just remember that all these options are also available here in this effects panel. Alright, that's it. Now this was a long one, a really long one, but we got it through. I think we've covered everything that you need to know about speed manipulation in your videos. If I missed anything out, let me know down in the comment section. Might talk about it in another video. Make sure to go ahead and create something fast or slow, whichever you prefer. Also, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Spread some love and like this video. And also... What are you doing, man? I finally got it, man. Watch this now.